Well, this is Brian here again. I just made a video about Prime Mail's little tax-exempt, non-for-profit status, donate money to charity at the same time. Now I'm going to do a video, and I did mention this in my previous video, but I'm going to do a video on this. I got a letter in the mail about a week and a half ago to 2 weeks ago that Prime Mail, which is Prime Therapeutics, which is owned by Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're the mail order pharmacy benefits manager. And they're exclusively owned by Blue Cross of Alabama, Kansas, Minnesota, Nebraska, North Carolina, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Wyoming, and then the Healthcare Service Corporation ones, Illinois, Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Montana. And they're a non-for-profit tax-exempt company. But this letter I got stating that they're are partnering with or forming an alliance with Walgreens mail order service. And I question that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And they say everything is going to remain the same, but it will say Walgreens mail service on the prescription bottles. And I called them because I had a question about my medication, because the letter wasn't really clear. Since the switching companies, if you had to have a new prescription from the doctor, or you could just continue using the refills. But I had to call them anyway because I had a question about my medication. About that anyway. And I asked them, what is the purpose of this? Because it's not really clear. And the lady and I did Google, and I finally found it on Google. They're claiming that the reason why they're doing this is so they would reduce cost for everybody, which I don't believe that, and they can negotiate drug prices better from the manufacturer, which I don't believe that one damn bit either. Walgreens and Prime Mail are humongous companies as it is. So you're going to tell me, in order for them to get better prices, they had to merge together? I don't believe that. And you think your copay is going to go lower? I don't believe that one damn bit either. Because the premiums are going to go up for 2018, so that's a total lie right there about them prices getting lower. I don't buy that one bit. And it says that the prescriptions will be filled by Walgreens mail order service out of Tempe, Arizona. But I'm wondering about that because my prescriptions come from Irving, Texas. So I get mine within 2 or 3 days after refilling it online, or, when I request it online, or when the doctor fills it. Sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's 3 days. It just depends on how fast they put in the mail. But, they process it pretty fast. But it just makes you wonder, now if it's coming from Tempe, Arizona, because I have used Walgreens mail order service when I was too lazy to pick up the prescription at the Walgreens. Because you could do that online when you request your refill. You can, pick up at the store or ship to home. And I used ship to home when I didn't need the medication immediately. But then it begs the question: how can they fill a prescription across state lines? I know for that is true that they can't do that for controlled substances. I know that for sure. Because there was a notice on that on the Prime Mail invoice I get with my medication. The all controlled substances will be filled in the state that you're located in. But I guess if it's not a controlled substance, I guess it can be filled in another state. And it says this is effective August the 18th, 2017. So when is all this going to be set in motion and switched over to Walgreens mail order service? Now, I'm questioning this simply because for this year, 2017, CVS was no longer in network with Blue Cross. They dropped out. So, in theory, if you think about it, Walgreens eliminated their direct competition with Blue Cross members. Just think about that. Now, I could bet you $5. There's two theories I have. either Walgreens does have something speculating that in their contract, because, this is not done overnight. This was probably thought of a year ago, because here it is, August the 15th of 2017. And they probably has something in their contract. We do not want any money going to our direct competitor, which is CVS. So we want them out of your network. And they got their way. And either CVS had thought, well, we don't want none of our money going to our direct competitor, Walgreens, so we're going to drop out too. I could bet you it's probably a mixture of both. But I find that kind of weird how CVS got dropped out of the pharmacy network this year. And all of a sudden, they're getting cahoots with Prime Mail and Walgreens mail order service. And they eliminated their direct competitor. And they don't contract with Rite Aid either here in Texas, which I think there's maybe 2 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that I know of, maybe. But I know there's some down south. I just see them if they're still there. So Walgreens and Prime Mail is getting in cahoots with each other, and they eliminated their direct competitor, which is CVS. How convenient. I think some regulators need to look into this, how they form a monopoly. Unless you want to get your prescription filled, if you get your prescription filled at the Walmart or Tum Thum grocery store or Kroger grocery store, the grocery stores. But the actual retail pharmacies, CVS and Walgreens, they're the big players now. Eliminated CVS, which I don't like CVS either way, but still, that's eliminating people's choices. Some people may not have a Walgreens near them, so they have to use CVS, whatever the case may be. But, and CVS and Walgreens, like Home Depot and Lowe's, they're directly across the street from each other on either corner nowadays. So yeah, they eliminated their direct competitor, forming a more narrow network. Actually, that's how you can put it. Little dirty little tricks that they pull, and people don't really think about that, really. Yeah, it says August 18th is when they're supposed to go, and it says everything remains the same except the name. It's coming, it comes from Walgreens mail order service. And like I said, I don't know what the hell's the purpose of this, really. I don't see no benefit in merging together, and because where did they get the money to do that? Well, it came from its members. So they're making Walgreens a big giant monopoly for Blue Cross Blue Shield's members, basically. Just really kind of weird. And then they eliminate the direct competitor of CVS out of the way. If y'all want to read this, let's see here. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Oh, they call it Walgreens Prime Strategic Alliance. That's what they call it. In the back of here, it says Prime Mail is a registered trademark of Prime Therapeutics, LLC. Prime Therapeutics has contracted with Walgreens Mail Service to provide mail pharmacy services. Well, like I said, what's the purpose of this alliance, really? It's not going to benefit the members. It's not. The co-pays are going to remain the same. It'll go higher. Your insurance premium will go higher anyway. So, in reality, I think this is just doing this for the public image of the company, of these two companies. And then, I like to know how this is really legal, because Prime Mail is a non-for-profit company, and Walgreens is a for-profit company. How can those two do business like that? Form an alliance, what you may call it. Was it designed so they can hoard more money? I think so. To hide more money? Yeah. But them making a big monopoly at Walgreens, eliminate CVS, And you could say, well, the two probably have nothing to do with each other, and that could be true. But I do believe that one of these companies said, we're not going to do any business with the other flowing money like this, and they couldn't stand it. They want their direct competitor eliminated. Like I said, I bet that was what Walgreens told Prime Mail to do. Because, you know, like I said, this wasn't done overnight. This was done probably a year or two ago when they formed all this. And I can tell you also, it's a mixture of both. And CVS probably said, well, we don't want none of our money flowing to our direct competitor, Walgreens. So they probably, you know, mutually said, we're going to part ways. I mean, come on. If you were a business, do you want money flowing from your cash register to your direct competitor? And that's exactly how this is going to be. That's how it's turning out to be. Walgreens and CVS are direct competitors from each other. They don't want no money flowing from each other. But this is my 2 cents. If you have any questions or comments about that, please post them below.